Hello Reformers and welcome back to A World of Ice and Fire. Now I've had a pretty difficult time off screen. I don't really know how to categorize it except absolutely awful. Yes, it's been terrible. Anyway, I'm going to attempt to explain most of what has happened. There are some good points, but mostly just kind of annoyingly bad points. Now the annoyingly bad point that I'm going to start off with here, because we might as well get the bad news out of the way, is that I've been attempting to eliminate Night's Watch patrols. I haven't had too many difficulties doing that because I've been able, well, I've basically compromised and I've started recruiting units that are not wildlings, because wildling units, unless you have a huge amount of them, are just not that effective. And I mean, we know that. We know that the wildlings are, well, arguably probably one of the worst units, if not the worst unit in the mod, and so it is very difficult to utilize them appropriately. So instead what I did was I went over to the north and I just recruited a couple of their units, and I'm running around with some of them in conjunction with our wildling units. So obviously we're not completely excluding the wildlings at all. It's just a slightly better idea for us to you know, mix and match a little bit. I don't really want to fully convert to a full North army or anything like that, not just yet at least. But anyway, the point is that I've been fighting Night's Watch patrols. I actually did find a set of armor, but as far as I'm aware, it appears to be the wrong armor, and that makes me a little bit confused, because I actually thought that you could just pick up any armor from, you know, one of these Night's Watch patrols, and then you would be able to hand in the quest to Mance Raider. Unfortunately, that does not appear to be the case, however, because I found some armor, as I say. It was Night's Watch leather, and I also found another kind. I found Night's Watch hardened leather, actually, and amusingly enough, I was unable to hand in the quest. It did not give me the completion of the quest. It didn't allow me to speak to him and say, hey, I got the armor now, you know, guy, what's going on here, you know? Nothing like that. Nothing like that whatsoever. So then I thought, oh, okay, so maybe I have to fight more patrols, find more armor, and, you know, just do it that way. That also does not appear to be the case, because I found even more armor, which seems to be exactly the same kind of armor, just on different quality levels, so battered armor and, you know, rough armor and all that sort of stuff, and that doesn't appear to make any difference either. So I actually ended up failing the quest because it has a day limit, and I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't aware that it actually did have a day limit of some kind. I thought, oh, okay, you know, we're gonna have, you know, maybe about 60 days or something along those lines, because, I mean, you know, it's a vassal quest and everything, and yeah, so long story short, ended up failing it, and then I went to go and speak to Mance Raider and say, hey, you know, is it okay if I attempt to do the quest again? Because I've, you know, read in certain forums and places that the armor itself, if you get it beforehand and then get the quest, that is enough for Mance Raider to be like, oh yeah, there you go, join us as a vassal immediately. But that also did not work, because when I speak to Mance Raider and say, I wish to join your cause, it actually doesn't allow me to do that. He continues to say the same thing that he's always said, which is, you have yet to eliminate the Crow Patrol, and so on and so forth. So that is obviously kind of worrying, because that means that I may not be able to join the Free Folk at all now that the quest has failed, even though I did arrive there in time. In good time, actually. I had, I think, 3 days or something along those lines before the quest failed. And, well, that's it. You know, that's basically the bad news. And apparently he's not willing to give me another chance to do it. He's not saying anything about it. He's just continuing to say, oh, you've not eliminated it just yet. And I've eliminated so many Night's Watch patrols in this area, and it is just not working. It's really just not working. On the bright side of all this bad stuff, we have been able to upgrade our settlement And we now have the opportunity to put 250 units in the garrison there. We also have the opportunity to hire a weaponsmith and an armorsmith. And we also do have, obviously, many more enterprises because I've been trading at the same time as running around and everything. And we're making a lot of money every single week. We're making about, I think, 8,000, 9,000 right now, which is pretty good. And I have actually joined the Free Folk as a mercenary. I was going to say as a vassal, and I was just like, ugh, disappoint. Yes, no, I did join as a mercenary once again because I thought that might reset Mance Raider's conversation, perhaps. Anyway, here we are speaking to him. Oh, we do actually get a chance to... Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take this guy prisoner once again. And we do have the opportunity to take some of these guys prisoner. I would like to take elite rangers, but apparently there aren't any, so I guess I'll just take some, well, riders, I guess. Oh, actually, you know what? I have so much space. I can probably take all of these. Or at the very least, many of them. There we go. Alright, so what do we want to do here? Well, to get the armor, or to have a chance at getting the armor, even though I think I already have it, we're going to be leaving the dead to rot and taking first claim on the looted corpses. This is going to reduce our reputation and is also going to hurt our morale with our people, but as you can see, we're not actually getting any armor here. By the way, thanks to those of you in the comments that actually mentioned this particular strategy on looting, because I was obviously just doing the thing that everyone always does, you know, to get the most morale and reputation and all that stuff. Anyway, as you can see right here, this is the leather that I acquired beforehand, and I thought, hey, this is probably going to be perfectly acceptable for Mance, right? I even have ragged, and I have tattered and hardened and all that stuff, and that is just not good enough for Mance for some reason. So I'm just going to take the rest of this and we'll sell it at the nearby town. Now, another thing, obviously, that is a pretty bright-sided affair when it comes to us tackling so many Night's Watch patrols and everything in the area, that we are able to sell the prisoners for a great deal of money. As you can see right there, 5,900. So this is a really good way of making money in the north, or shall we say in Free Folk territory, because obviously you're not really able to go down that much to trade. I have been trading quite a bit, but obviously not as much as I could be. And yeah, obviously that has reduced our earning potential, suffice to say. But anyway, there are a couple of other things that I should mention. Apart from, obviously, the problems that we've been having, I was able to upgrade my settlement, as I mentioned, and we do have a weaponsmith and an armorsmith, and I bought some raggedy armor that was not exactly great. You know, I bought some armor for, I think it was about a total of 12,000. I traded a whole bunch of fur and stuff for it, and it was really bad. It was battered. You know, it was battered, and it was, I think it was just kind of awful. And I went over to my settlement and spoke to my armorsmith and my weaponsmith, smith, respectively. And they were able to advance my weapons, shield, lance, and we also have, obviously, reinforced all of our armor. I was unable to get it to lordly status, because if I got it to lordly status, it would have cost me about 34,000, and I only have 34,000 right now. I probably would have taken a lot more money to do every single piece. But as you can see, I've got a pretty decent helm now. My torso armor could use a bit of an upgrade, because I am using a heavy helm, which does give me penalties in certain skills, of course, and, well, unless I disable that particular realism thing. But anyway, yeah, so my armor is obviously looking a lot better now. And also, there is something that I very much want to do, as I have been told in the comments is actually a really cool thing. I believe there is a giant's lair nearby, and I think it's in one of these forests here. I think it's in this one over there. I mean, I would think it would be pretty far away. So we're just going to have a look, and let's see, because I feel like being able to, if you don't know, there's a bit of a surprise in store for us, and not entirely sure if we're going to be able to do it, but we'll try our very best. Oh, one of your soldiers succumbs to his wounds from a previous battle. Okay, yeah, let's just do that. We're going to get some additional reputation here. I need as much honor rating as possible, and I've lost so much. Literally, just by attacking the Night's Watch patrols all the time. It's not been very good. Anyway, there we go. There's the Giant's lair. Okay, so that's pretty fantastic. Are we ready? Are we ready for a fight? Not really, let's face it. These are gonna be extremely difficult. You arrive at a lair. As you move closer, you can start to hear noises, large thuds on the ground, and huge roaring. Do you dare continue? Leave quickly or continue? Well, we're gonna continue, yes. We are certainly gonna do that. I've been told that this is a really good way to get a couple of pretty useful companions, and well, thankfully I do have an upgraded lance, which is hopefully going to help us out, and I have a load of people, so that's going to obviously provide a decent distraction. Do you see those over there? I'm pretty sure you can see, even though it is nighttime. I'm pretty sure you can see. It's not exactly dark with all the snow all over the place, but yeah, you can see these massive hulking guys coming over and being like, oh yeah, we stick to our workout regimen. We do. We certainly do. Alright, so let's see if I can maybe do something here. Oh, 73 damage? Okay, I was hoping for a little bit more than that. Now, hopefully, I will be able to, well, take someone out. Oh, we took out Dongo. Dongo, we took him out. Alright, so let's see if I can maybe take out another one. And I'm probably thinking that if you get close to these guys, you're probably going to die instantly. They're kind of reminiscent of large units from other mods, and I would definitely suspect that it would be a bad idea to get close to these guys. Let me see if I can lance them. There we go. Okay, so 100 and, I think about 100 damage will get the kill on them, I think, maybe? That seems to be the case, because 70 damage is certainly not enough. I'm a bit worried that I'm not going to be able to do this in time, so I'm going to try and hurry a little bit. 44 damage only? I think I might... Oh, my weapon was damaged. That's not particularly good. I'm actually wondering whether this mod has the weapon breaking mechanic of... Is it Britain Warder or Viking Conquest or something along those lines? I think it might have the weapon breaking mechanic, which would be really bad. That would be really bad for us. My horse is... Is my horse crippled, by the way? Is that why it's moving so slowly? Because this is actually one of the faster horses that the player has access to, and I was hopeful that this would help my lancing. We were able to eliminate that guy at least. Yeah, no, okay, gotta be careful. Gotta be very careful now, because all of my forces have been eliminated. Thankfully, these guys are actually using blunt weapons, so they will not be killing your units if you have any problems by the looks of things, so that's pretty nice. I'm going to try and eliminate the fellow that's all by himself. And he didn't seem to have a weapon. Seems like their weapons broke pretty early on, which is good. Yes, there's another one. We're only doing 37 damage? This is really bad. Maybe I should try and aim for the legs or something? Because aiming for the... No, aiming for the legs is pretty bad. Unless my lance is actually breaking, in which case this is bad in general. Oh, no, okay. Yes. So aiming for the chest seems to be the way to go. And I'm just hopeful that I will have a decent enough time here. I think what I need to do is aim for the person, or shall we say the giant with his weapon. There we go. Oh, yep, it does have the weapon breaking mechanics. Okay, so this is bad. This is very bad. Thankfully, there is only one remaining with his weapon. So we should have an okay time of things. It's just going to take a little bit longer than I would have liked, of course. But after we do this, we're going to get a pretty wonderful surprise, and I think I kind of know what it is, thanks to comments, but I'm going to just wait and see, just to make sure that it is actually that. There we go. Last one. Yes, the last one's going to take a bit longer. Yes, 20 damage, trying to hit his torso. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we did it. Amazing. Okay, so hopefully my lance is not actually destroyed completely. Anyway, the giants have been beaten. Whilst looking among the casualties, you notice a couple of giants are still alive. They are impressed with your victory and would like to join your party. And they have. And they have joined me. So, We have Dongo right here, who, whoa, his weekly wage is crazy, 120, and Woon, I guess that's his name. Anyway, yeah, we cannot take any of their gear by the looks of things, but we can take a look at their skills, and you can see here, they are immense. They have 10 Iron Flesh, 10 Power Strike, and nothing much more, but yeah, 85 health is pretty significant. And I'm actually wondering whether they will be able to kill enemies in like one hit. They seem to have both, you know, having similar stats. So that's pretty cool. You try to seduce Woon. Yes, that seems to be a thing. Can I send them off to actually get right to rule? I don't really want to do that, to be honest. I already have about 30-something right to rule, so I don't really need to worry about it. Anyway, there you go. So we do have 2 Giants companions now, which is pretty fantastic. And, well, I guess that is a positive thing in regards to, well, being in Free Folk lands, because otherwise it would have been kind of tricky, I guess. Yeah, where's Mance Raider? There he is. Okay, so I'm going to go and speak to him, and you can see that I do have the armor, of course, but I don't have the quest anymore, so I suppose that's probably going to make it a bit of a difference. Okay, so... Oh yeah, of course. I'm a mercenary now, so I cannot do that. Okay, that's great, isn't it? Anyway, the point is that what we're going to do is we will try to level up an army that is like at least capable of doing something by itself. So I'm going to be going over here. We do have quite a few units here. I mean, I've got like, what do we have? Northern levies. We do have a couple of northern footmen, but that is not really spectacular. So I guess we're going to just take a look around and see what we can do about maybe raiding a couple of the Night's Watch villages or something like that. Well, it looks as though we are outnumbered by the various peasants that we are going to be fighting here, and I think my horse is actually crippled, so that's not particularly good, but otherwise I think we are going to have a pretty easy time with things here. You know what? I don't really want this horse to die, so I'm actually just going to get off it real quick, and we're going to try and protect it a little bit. I don't really want it to die, thank you. There we go. Alright, so now this should be a pretty easy victory, because even though our companions, most of them are not exactly amazing, we should be able to beat some peasants. I mean, really, we should be able to beat some peasants. And I think what I'm going to do after this is I'm actually going to go maybe to the Crossroads Inn, because I think that might be the only way that I will be able to become a vassal of some kind, unless I launch an attack on someone, and I'm talking about a very weakened garrison here, and launch an attack, try and capture it myself, create my own faction, and then take myself all the way over to Mance and say, hey, I've got this fief, would you like to, you know, invite me to your faction, so on and so forth, kind of thing. And that would obviously disintegrate my own faction, but it might be the only way that we can make it work. Alright, so I've travelled down from Free Folk lands because obviously we are currently a mercenary and I can't really do much about that. I don't think I can I actually leave? I might be able to leave. Anyway, what I've done is I have, I think you actually saw that I did level up in one of those fights. I think the fight that we fought at the beginning of the episode. And we're now level 17. And with that point, I spec'd into Sailing Master. And I've been able to buy this warship. This warship was 41,000. I had enough money from the raid on the village to be able to afford this, because obviously I had about 37,000 or something like that, so I was able to afford it just about. We now have only 5,000 remaining, and I think it would make sense for us to have a ship, because that means I can go to wherever I want. I can go over to Essos, I can just do whatever, and that's pretty cool. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing is a little bit of trading. We're going to go down to the Crossroads Inn and see exactly what's going on there. Alright, so we're currently in a battle with a couple of clansmen from some hill place. Hill clansmen, there we go, that's what they're called. Anyway, we're currently in a battle with them, and hopefully after this we will be able to enter the Crossroads Inn. I don't exactly know why they wanted to attack us. But, well, they apparently did. And, whoa, they're actually, they do some damage. They definitely do some damage. I need to be a bit careful of these guys, because if I do get eliminated behind their lines, we're probably going to have some problems. So, yeah, let's just be a little bit more cautious about that. My horse dies so incredibly quickly. This is kind of making me think that maybe I should purchase a Destry Air horse, because if I purchase one of those, the armor on it is hopefully going to prevent it from taking serious amounts of damage like this one is. And this one is also taking so much damage that it is reducing its speed by such a great deal that I think it's going to make it even harder to use lancing in the future. So probably a good idea to maybe get a Destry Air, even though it does have much less speed. Well, I wouldn't say much less speed. The ones I've seen have been about 40 speed in comparison to what I'm currently using, which is 46. So in general, it's actually not even that much. And if it is able to keep its high HP for a much longer time, then I think it might be worth it. And it's not even that expensive either. Destry Air horses are seemingly only about 4,000, but maybe the one I saw was a bit cheap. Well, right now we got some pretty weird stuff going on. You can see here that I traveled all the way back from where the clansmen attacked me, because I actually got off in Gulltown. I thought, hey, you know what, let's just go through here. Yeah, not the best idea. Anyway, as you can see, we do have the Moon Brothers. The Moon Brothers are attempting to attack me. They have a huge army, and I doubt we will be able to defeat them, so it would probably be a better idea for me to just go into the Crossroads Inn. And this is the first time I've actually gone in here, as you can see. So ask around the tavern if anyone wants to join you. Enter the Crossroads Inn. I guess we'll just enter it, and we'll see exactly what's going on. No? Local traveler, maybe? Hello there. Me? Why? I'm just a mere traveler. Westeros, Essos, I've traveled all over the known world. If I were to know you better, I'd have some secrets to tell. But never mind about that. Ah, okay. Well, that's fine. Do you want to hear a story? Well, I'm Sir Janis Lyron. My family go way back when, to Valyria, you know. Well, Lord Peter Lyron, my father, God rest his soul, used to tell me all sorts of my ancestry. It so happens we used to have a home, a castle, in fact, somewhere near Essos. No idea where it is now, mind, but I wouldn't mind finding it. My poor father passed away some time ago now, and all his memories with him. I've been waiting here, in the hope someone will help me find it. I want nothing for it, mind, just to allow me to live out the rest of my days there. The castle can be yours. Just look after it with pride is all I say. Agree, and I will help you search for it. Sounds interesting. What do you have in mind? Oh, you need at least 50 men. And, oh, tools. I don't really have any tools, but I can get some from Dragonstone. Dragonstone actually has pretty cheap tools. Anyway, here's the thing. All I know is it's near Essos. Oh, and it's in ruins. Did I forget to mention that part? Yeah, you did, actually. It's a lot to ask, I know, but if we do find it, then you have a castle for yourself, and I can rest knowing I fulfilled my father's dream. We should probably acquire a ship too. I actually just got one, amusingly enough. No telling where this place could be. Oh, and don't forget to stock up on supplies and bring some good men. Right, as soon as we're ready, we can leave. Don't be waiting too long. Okay, sure. Why not? Let's do it. I'm gonna go and get some tools from Dragonstone, I suppose. Alright, so I thought to myself, okay, we got a quest, you know, we got a quest to go and rebuild a castle, and then I thought, well, if we're gonna go and rebuild a castle, that must mean that we are going to take ownership of that castle, and I don't personally want to go and do that while we are a mercenary with the free folk, and it is going to take probably another 2 weeks or so in-game for me to be able to leave my contract, and so I thought to myself, okay, what else are we going to do? And then I received a message that Mans Raider was holding a competition as I was in the north, and I thought, okay, let's go and do this, and we'll see what we can do. I'm actually playing with the expert mode enabled nowadays, because previously I thought to myself, yeah, I don't really have very good gear, and so it was just going to be a bit too difficult for me, so now expert mode is enabled and we're able to bet 500, because without expert mode you can only bet 100, and so you get much less money. Anyway, let's fight in the next round and see what we can do. I think we're going to be pretty fine here, because I do have my own equipment, and my equipment is, I would say, above average. You know, I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, obviously me getting absolutely murdered at the beginning here is great. Love it. I love seeing that. But thankfully this is not my horse, so I don't think we need to worry about it too much. But yeah, you can see already 56 damage to a hedge knight. I mean, really? That is pretty insane in my opinion. Okay, 2 teams with 6 fighters each. We're going to go for some grand melees here by the looks of things. And then I suppose eventually we will be going for smaller skirmishes with the opponent. And I think, isn't that... That's Thoros, isn't it? Or something along those lines? What's his name again? I actually don't know his name, but it's one of our companions who has that flaming sword. And yeah, he's our best. Yes, Thoros. Yes, Thoros is our best companion at the moment. He has the best stats I've ever seen, and I can only assume that there are companions out there that have even better stats. So you can imagine exactly how much they're going to be, because this guy I actually purchased for, well, not purchased, but I recruited him for 20,000 by mistake, as I explained to you in a previous episode. Anyway, let's see if we can maybe do something here. Yep, taking out his horse is basically the best thing that we can do, and then doing a little bit of something here. I'm actually going to get off my horse. I feel like on my horse is a bit, well, probably not the best, so I'm actually just going to beat him with speed. Yeah, look at that. Beating him with speed is basically the one thing that I can do now in comparison to before, because this weapon that I'm using, I highly recommend getting one of these, by the way. Whether you get it from a traveling merchant or whether you just get it from going to Essos and purchasing it or something like that from one of the marketplaces there, because I think it is an Essos weapon primarily. I think, isn't this what the Dothraki use, actually, by the way? I think it might be. I could be wrong, but it's been a while since I've actually fought those guys, so do bear that in mind. Anyway, it seems like my free rider friend right here is doing a pretty decent job, and if we win this, we're going to be getting about 20,000 in silver stags, and that's going to be amazing. As well as, of course, the renown. The renown reward is probably just as good as that money, and we will also be able to get maybe a pretty awesome item, and I'm hopeful that it will be maybe a horse, maybe a piece of armor. Something like that would be quite nice, because I have a decent weapon now. I have a good lance. My shield is actually okay as well, and yeah, we should hopefully be all right to eliminate this last guy. Ooh, that was close. Did you see that? He was prepared. He was ready to skewer us alive with his insanely long polearm right there. Anyway, there you go. We actually did achieve victory. 23 renown. They apparently did not give anything to us this time around, but as you can see, my soon-to-be bride, or at least I hope so at some point, Wanda, is now at 36 relation, which is pretty insane. We can actually go in and speak to her right away, and that is going to increase her relation even further. I actually did use... I'm actually going to dedicate this tournament dedication to her as well, and that's going to give her another +1. But yeah, anyway, I have learned about 5 poems or something like that from the various bards around the land, and I've said every single one to her, and every single one gave her at least +1. So yeah, that's the reason why she's up so high on relation with us at the moment. It's kind of a bit sad that we can't really do much more, you know, so like... Usually, in other mods, you would be able to do some tasks for the father, and then he would be like, yeah, okay, you know, you can marry my daughter. But no, this is a bit different, because you need to be a vassal, and being a vassal in another mod is actually kind of easy as well in comparison to this. Anyway, I'm going to be waiting for some time off screen in between episodes, and we will be leaving our mercenary contract once again, and then I will be heading down to Essos. I think someone said that it was near Volantis, the castle that I need to go to, so that is what we will be doing in the next episode, and I'm hopeful that that will cause Mance Raider to basically just take us on immediately. As long as we are able to have our own faction and have our own fief, we might be able to do that. If not, and I'm willing to accept suggestions here, do you think we should just create our own faction and just go for it? Maybe, because I actually do have... Where is it? Where's my... There it is. Oh, yeah, you go. I have 42 right to rule, which is pretty amazing in my opinion. So... I think we would probably do quite well. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.